and welcome back to And the Award Goes To, presented by Lee County Libraries. Today we will be talking about the Carnegie Medals for Excellence in Fiction and Nonfiction. These medals are named for Andrew Carnegie, Gilded Age tycoon and philanthropist. Andrew Carnegie was born in Dunfermline, Scotland, in 1835, when his father, a weaver, was put out of work by a steam powered loom. The family, including a younger brother, moved to northern Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1848. There, Andrew got his first job as a bobbin boy in a textile mill. He made $1.20 per week. Andrew worked several jobs, working his way from bobbin boy to engine tending to clerking. He got his first job with the Pennsylvania Railroad Company in 1853. A few years later, he took out a loan from a local bank and invested the entire $217 in a railroad car company. Within 2 years, he began receiving $5,000 a year in returns. When the Civil War began, Andrew worked for the Union Army. His work was ensuring that the railroad and telegraph lines stayed clear and functional. Following the war, he continued to invest in other companies, from oil to steel, and eventually opened his own steel productions company. Before long, Andrew Carnegie was the wealthiest man in the world. As a young boy in Pennsylvania, Andrew worked instead of going to school. On Saturdays, Colonel James Anderson allowed Andrew and other working boys access to his library so they might advance their educations on their own. In his autobiography, Carnegie credited Anderson with providing an opportunity for working boys who some people said should not be entitled to books to acquire the knowledge to improve themselves. Later in his life, Andrew's main goal was to fund as many philanthropic opportunities as he could. He funded universities, museums, music halls, scientific research, and more. One of the largest projects that he embarked on was public libraries. Andrew funded over 3,000 libraries throughout the United States and around the world. The first was in his hometown of Dunfermline, Scotland, and other libraries were built in Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, and the West Indies. Today, about half of the libraries are still open, and many more have been turned into government buildings, museums, and other uses. In 2012, to celebrate their centennial, the Carnegie Corporation of New York announced with the American Library Association a new book award, the Andrew Carnegie Medals for Excellence in Fiction and Nonfiction. This new award was unique in how it would be selected. For the first time, the judges would not be book critics or authors, but librarians. Those involved wanted to demonstrate the expert judgment of those that work closely with adult readers. First, they compile the long list of 50 titles, then the short list of 3 books is selected from there. All of the authors who make it to the short list receive an award. The winner receives $5,000 and the 2 others receive $1,500. The process for this award is fairly simple because, unlike most of the awards that we talk about, this one does not take submissions. All of the books are nominated by the selection committee, and they must have been on either the book list editor's choice list of RUSA's notable book list. The only other criteria is that they were published in the United States in the previous year and are written for adults. The selection committee consists of 7 people who are library professionals. They select the long list, short list, and the eventual winners. They vary in their jobs, but all work closely with adult readers. This year's committee consists of a library director, a retired reference librarian, a genealogy librarian, and a university library media coordinator, among others. The committee is chosen from the Reference and User Services Association, otherwise known as RUSA. The committee chooses the long list of books by early fall, and the short list is released by November. The winners are announced at the RUSA Book and Media Award ceremony at LibLearnX conference. This year, the award ceremony will be on January 6th. The primary sponsor of the award is the Carnegie Corporation, but it is also supported by ALA, Booklist, and RUSA. Here's this year's short list of fiction titles. Feel free to pause to read the descriptions. Martyr, by Kavu Akbar. James by Percival Everett, and Cinema Love by Jia Ming Tang. And here are the nonfiction shortlist titles. A Walk in the Park, the true story of a spectacular misadventure in the Grand Canyon by Kevin Fedarko. Challenger, a true story of heroism and disaster on the edge of space by Adam Higginbotham. And Cue the Sun, the invention of reality TV by Emily Nussbaum. The winners of this year's Andrew Carnegie Medals for Excellence in Fiction and Nonfiction will be announced at the RUSA Book and Media Award ceremony on January 26th. The winners can be found at ala.org/Carnegie Medals/2025 winners. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and tune in next month for the next episode of And the Award Goes To, where we will be talking about the North Carolina Children's Book Award.